when you play Genji, what are the issues that you might feel like you encounter? In this game, it's probably going to be going to do something with pathing, i.e., how am I able to reach the Ruyang, Soldier, or Ana in a way that when I reach them, I'm full HP, or when I reach them, I don't get full. I'm actually safe, or I've got my CDs and then I've got decent HP, and I'm coming from a good angle, because of course Ruyang can prevent you by bending his orbs around corners, but you are running a pretty wide comp here, or a comp that should, in theory, have good pathing or good support on the flanks. I think the one thing that I'll mention here, if you're playing into Wuyang or just comps in general that want to stop you from reaching them to begin with, which predominantly their comp, is knowing when to not fight things. So if I'm this Genji hero, like I'm Bringerton, and I'm playing a comp that I know is fairly squishy in the backline against a more mobile comp here, they're probably going to orb Genji with the Ruyang orb, and this guy's probably going to mark you, or he's going to look to prevent or disrupt your pathing or your venture. In that case, what you can either do is just 2v1 or 3v2 the Genji with the 3 stack, so that's a solution. Or you just don't fight the Genji, find a different angle, and you don't ego him at all. And I think knowing when to not fight things is something that a lot of DPS players in general don't know when to do, or how to do, or when it's a good time to do it. But we'll see how this game goes. Of course, it's going to be fairly short because it is fast hold. But we'll see how it pans out, and yeah. Alright. Okay. Scout on their comp, fine, Zarya. Or... okay.
Big question right there. Is it okay to like just primary fire down there even if there's Zarya? Because like easy charge for the Zarya, but you kind of gets like insane charge anyway. Because like
I wouldn't overthink it. Like I could micro this and be like, just don't shoot this because she's bubbling right now, right? But like, it's not that big of a deal. The important thing is that you're pathing here, which is good, right? So like, you're not standing down main and you're not constantly shooting the Zar. At one point, like eventually you'll need to like go right side or go left side anyway. So like, it's just very nitpicky micro to like not shoot Zar bubble if you are going to stay around poke. I'm also fine with you going right side here and setting up an angle. My only concern is, again, this guy's going to be an issue. It's going to potentially stop you. And knowing what to do, i.e., again, actually, this is a good setup by the enemy team here, so hopefully they do this well. But, like, again, if you're going alone here, you cannot, like, I would not fight this. Unless you've got Kiri or Venture with you. Or some kind of way to 2v1 this and win the Genji. If he's marking you here with the Wuyang Orb and you're alone, you can't fight that. You need to go around and find a different path. Ideally one where they don't know where you're coming from. But we'll see what happens here. Okay. Okay. Sure. They just let you through. Fine. Ram's going top, so the timing's good as well. We've got a good angle here. So far, so good. In terms of the general idea about our timing and our own position. Okay. Fine, yeah. Fairly normal cycle there. You drew the Genji away, you didn't fight it in time. Of course, you didn't scout him, see that he was there. The Ruyang target was fine. Only thing, if I'm being really nitpicky, is potentially getting a dash reset onto high grounds when the Ana's low. Like here, for example, right? Like, Ana, sorry. Actually, no, it is Ana here. Who's low HP, so potentially getting a dash reset there and then going out. Barring that, that's really nitpicky micro. I think that's something that's necessary to essentially do here. You live, you don't fight this, you draw Genji away, you're at a good angle. This is fine. Okay. Sure. Fine. Okay, good start. I'm shocked at how you get first out here, but we'll see. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. So of course it's micro here. I'm not gonna get into this too much because they're down 2 people anyways. But yeah, dash is not necessary. You can keep the angle after you kill the Ana. And of course, we shouldn't be aggroing or face tanking in front of a Zarya. Like, after you get this kill, it's really important that you try. I always say this to players. It's like, if you're in a 5v4, in this case you're in a 4v3, or you've got some kind of advantage you want to push, I draw the scale quite often, which is like, players will either AFK and do nothing, or they'll int and play really hyper aggro. And often it's this middle ground that's really important to hit, which I often just say is pushing slowly or stabilizing, which you did do. You didn't greed the kill there. You got out with both the Ash and Deflect when you when you got the 4v3 with your Venture and your round going high grounds. Here, when you're face tanking Zarya, this is like on that inside of the scale, basically, when we're face tanking Zarya here. Like, this is just, yeah, doing too much. Just DP the Zarya, stabilize, and push afterwards. Okay. 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 I'll fight this. Okay, so like this isn't a massive issue because you're in between fights right now, so you're just waiting for Colt to come around the corner. But this is the kind of thing what I mean by like not fighting. Like knowing that there's a Wu Yang and a Genji here, the Avenger's a bit late to the party as well. It's keeping distance and not fighting. So what I mean is, if you go back here. Okay. Sure, pushing up to get kills, fine. If he gets splashed, sure. But like, this is the moment in time where it's like, you need to back up all the way here and try and avoid the Wu Yang, or you drop down and don't fight this at all. Like, you just wait, you know? Because he prevents you, like, if I'm this Wu Yang's POV here, like, I just forced deflect and Genji's gone from his angle. So now if I'm Wu Yang and I've got my tank ready, of course, again, you're in between fights right now because they're resetting. But if there's the Zarya who's actually back on the team right now, they'd hard push you for this. By getting forced out like this is kind of the point. So that's the
Because dropping on the Mega kind of seems like, I don't know, because I feel like Wu Yang would still hit me with his like insane hitbox on the
Sure,
Mega even, right?
sure, right, maybe. Like, he would need to, like, get the perfect curve angle for it, right? I think the main idea is you need to make it hard or risky, or, like, hard, I don't care what word you use, difficult, expensive, or risky, or whatever word you want to use, for the Wu Yang to force you out here, whereas just going back, or sort of like keeping or fighting or face tanking the Genji here is making that way too easy. If you're going underneath Mega here, he has to like try and do some insane mental calculation on how he's going to hit you, and he still might not be able to hit you because if you're playing underneath the high ground here, like, and you're playing away from these corners, like you're playing underneath here, and you're playing away from the high ground, this sort of area here, off the cliff or off the edge, he's not gonna hit you. It's not gonna happen. And even if he does, you get the Mega, so you should be fine. But again, the point is like, how do I keep this angle while being difficult to force out? I often call this stuff as well, like angles like these, like underneath here. I call these aggressive but safe, or aggro but safe. I.e., you're still on an aggressive angle, like you're still on an angle such that you're threatening you're threatening the backline, but you're safe. Because again, of the reasons that I just pointed out, the fact that you're hard to push, you're dangerous to push, you're expensive to push. For them to push you here, it's going to cost the Genji with Orb and a Wu Yang to come here as well. Maybe even some soldier pressure too, who knows? And maybe even a Zarya bubble if she gets back in time, just to come and force you out here, which is very expensive.
So let's say I'm on this angle, like the aggressive but safe angle, like and let's say they don't push me, or like
Right.
yeah.
And if they don't,
what's my cue to get back in the fight? It's like just a tank.
So your Q would be your normal tank engage, right? Like as we just saw the first fight here, it's like waiting for your tank to vortex or just vortex form and go in. Your Venture to burrow in and do something because your Venture can't get prevented during burrow, and that's your cue because when they're drawing attention away, obviously you'll be fine and you can actually flank them. So that's kind of the key point. It's like how can you play this angle such that you don't get forced out before your Ram or your Venture go in. Obviously, first fight it was like the Genji just ignored you. You got through here for free, so that wasn't really a point in contention. But here it's like, again, playing here and just being really hard for the Genji with an orb to come and force you out is the important thing. Here, again, it's not a big deal, again, because you're in between. You're going to get deflect back by the time the Zarya drops, you know? So it's not a big deal, but it's indicative of the broader issue. But yeah. Okay. See here. Okay. 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 We'll talk about this path thing in a moment. I just want to see a little bit more. Okay. Sure. Kind of halfies there. Fine. Sure. We're just playing slow so far, right? Like, the Genji, we force Zarya to walk forward. Genji's really low, no dash, 1 HP. And no deflect as well, I believe. We've got map control as well. So we're just skirmishing for space, that's all we're really doing. So far, I'm actually fairly okay with this. Again, the reason why I'm okay with you matching Genji here is because all your team are here. Like, it was really easy to force him out because he made a bad play. So you're just punishing him for doing that. Whereas again, earlier, back over here, you're at a disadvantage because he's got Wu-Yang Orb, Soldier can helix you, Wu-Yangs are there as well, he can bend orbs around you. So I'm saying not to fight that. Here it's fine to fight him. This is fine. My only contention was this angle here, where again, our pathing here is we're making it easy for them to prevent us. Is my point. Like
We're sticking too much main, I guess.
yeah, right. Like we're right in front. We're pathing in a way such that we're right in front of the Zarya and the Soldier. I'm surprised he doesn't even helix you here or try to helix you or something. And there could potentially be more Wu-Yang damage here as well. But like this is the pathing thing that I'm mentioning. Like it's too easy to force you out here because you're pathing, i.e., right in front of them, down main on an angle where they can see you. So yeah, like again, the solution here is to wait. That's literally it. It's just the AFK wait, play this corner. Maybe you can get some heals from Mercury or whatever the case may be. Just playing here is fine. It's hard for them to force you out. If you can, I'm thinking of another angle you can maybe play it. Here's probably fine too. I mean, at least when it gets around the corner, so your Ana can still see you a little bit. Here will be fine too. Distance is actually quite nice to use because if you're far away, then the Zarya needs to walk forward to come and chase you, which is dangerous. It's expensive. Genji needs to come and walk forward to come and chase you out. That's dangerous. That's expensive. So you can always bait them to come and walk and chase you. It's actually kind of a thing you do here, where Zarya gets baited to walk forward to peel for a Genji. Fine. And she gets baited to walk forward to help her Genji. So she's having to put herself in a bad position. Genji's putting himself in a bad position right now. And unfortunately you don't get the kill here, but you do get space control, which is nice. So now, this would be the perfect time to try and flank around. No one knows where you are right now. I mean, you're in cover basically, right? No one knows where you are. Genji's been forced out. You have to have some space to use. Now would be the time to either... I'd probably say left side is your only real option because you can actually connect with the backline here. Yeah, you can actually connect with the backline here. Or you want to go right side, bait the Zarya even harder, and then maybe she walks forward here. It's a bit harder to do because this is not great pathing. It's entirely open space where they can see you. Whereas here, it's looking a little bit nicer now. Where like now we can use this building to our advantage. We can hide, we can play cover, and no one's gonna know where we're coming. So we'll see where you go to because your positioning is going to be really important. Yeah, go on.
Quick question, because I feel like if I went like back to where I started on the left side, like sure I get like a free shuriken, but then I feel like the Wu-Yang's just gonna turn around and
yeah, right. You know. So normally, like, I'll link you a video that explains this quite well, or the general idea behind this. I'll mention the shuriken thing as well in how that ties into this. But basically, you'll have a skirmish phase. Right now, we've just had that. And when I mean skirmish, what I essentially mean is front lines will be controlling space or fighting for space or jockeying for space, as we just saw there. Like Genji, you're jockeying for this space control to the right side, dashing to the Genji to force him out. That's all skirmishing. There'll come a time in the skirmish phase where you'll need to go back into cover, as you are right now, to reload, get cooldowns back, get HP back, whatever the case may be. It's this time, when you duck back into cover, that you are the most lethal, or rather, you're able to be the most lethal later on. It's this time where we're getting back into cover during the skirmish phase, where now we can be unscouted. Now we can maybe swing a little bit closer to the left side, when less characters are going to know where we're at, and we can start taking a deeper angle. Now, of course, maybe micro-wise, Soldier can maybe see you here, whatever the case may be, right? Sure, fine, fair, whatever the case may be. Worst case scenario, again, as I mentioned earlier, if the Soldier sees you go rotating left side, and he wants to fight you, don't fight him unless there's a carry with you or a venture with you. That's fine as well, just don't hard ego that, as I mentioned earlier. But that's kind of the idea behind when to flank as Genji, or when it's the best time to get pathing and actually reach and connect into the Wu-Yang Ana without getting prevented. Now the shuriken thing about making sure, do I toss shurikens? If I toss shurikens early, they're going to know where I am. And if they know where I am, the Wu-Yang's going to bend shots. Or not even the Wu-Yang, maybe the Ana wants to fight you, or the Soldier wants to fight you. They're going to fight you and you're going to get prevented here. I think right now, you can sort of bait your positioning, so you can throw shurikens right now on the Zarya. Here's fine too. You can just throw shurikens on the Zarya, and then maybe the Soldier needs a DP here, right? So maybe again you're here, you throw shurikens. Zarya backs up a little bit. Then when the Soldier backs up and Zarya backs up, then that's your time to sort of go left side. When you're rotating or when you're flanking like this, I wouldn't throw shurikens. as in I wouldn't be double jumping here, and maybe you can throw shurikens or double jumping here, right? But of course, I try and hide and get to this location unscouted is the most important thing. But here you can throw shurikens here, you can pretend like you're playing here, and then go deeper left side basically. Hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, so I'm curious because you should flank now, or soon you should flank soon is what I'm saying. We'll see. Okay, you go right side instead. Yeah, right. So this is the pathing thing, right? Like you can see the distance. It's hard because how on earth are you supposed to connect onto backline when you're this far away? You know, like it's impossible. You just can't do this. Why do you actually go right side here? Is it because your ram's low, or
like it was just like the Zarya?
That's interesting, right? I think this is micro with your character because you can juggle aggro with your ram. You're actually good at juggling aggro in Genji generally, but there's certain characters in the game you can't really do that with. Zarya's one of them because the thing that allows you to juggle aggro is your deflect. So, for example, back in Stockholm last year, where Queen was being played by NRG Shock, one thing that NRG did is that sometimes they ran Genji, and because Malga's really strong at burning Queen, they ran Genji sometimes to juggle aggro with the Queen. So for example, Queen would walk in, she'd get burned a little bit, Malga would cardiac overdrive, Genji would juggle that by deflecting the cardiac overdrive. That's micro. That's really important to that matchup. Here, like, what is deflect gonna do? You know, like one right click plus a decent beam for half a second, and he's gonna blitz you. You're gonna be forced to run away, you know? So it's just your micro here isn't good in the matchup. What your micro is suited to is reaching the backline here. So I think the key mistake that we make is I haven't fully watched this yet, but I would assume the key mistake we make is that we don't acknowledge the micro. We go right side because we think that we can burn Zarya, or we think we're a little bit greedy into Zarya in this comp here, and we're probably gonna get forced out. It's my guess, or it's gonna be hard to reach Zarya. It's gonna be hard to reach backline here. It's my guess. It was all we're gonna see. If you're playing Reaper here, I think that you can do this. Reaper can tank a Zarya and shred a Zarya. But again, this is just micro with the character. If you're playing into Malga, I think I'll be more accepting. If you're playing into Malga and you wanted to be here, fan the Malga, deflect the overdrive. Sure, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. But yeah, not into Zarya. Okay. Sure. And it's like, there's a big opportunity cost we missed it, you know? And with one thing I like doing sometimes is putting the camera in certain locations. So, we can back up here, and we go 0.5 here. So let's say you did actually go left side here. Right? Notice how, again, most people can't see you. And now, you can actually either prevent the Genji, if the Genji... Where does the Genji come from? You go left side? Is he? I mean, you can 2v1 the Genji here, actually, with your Kiriko. Or... You can maybe go for... you can't really go for a dash cycle, it's too dangerous. And then I doubt you can dash here and walk climb up in time without getting punished. It's probably a bit too dangerous. But...
I feel like Yana.
Yeah, but at least what you can do is draw these guys away. So make the Ana, make the Wuyang, make the soldier look at you, juggle aggression off the Zarya, and in that way, you're zoning 1, 2, 3, at best 4 characters here, and that will really pressure off your round. And when you're skirmishing around for this, so like maybe, I don't know, when you're skirmishing here, maybe you get some good shurikens onto the Wuyang, or you get some good shurikens onto Ana. Maybe your Kiriko gets a good dink onto the Ana. Maybe your Avenger comes here, burrows, and then gets a good burrow onto the soldier, and that causes you to go for a dash cycle. You can skirmish here, essentially, take attention away. When your Avenger does a play, or if your Kiryu hits a shot, then you can go for the dash play, and then you can make that play happen. But there's a decent opportunity cost here, for sure. Where no one on your team... Yeah, nobody on your team goes left side here at all. In fact, funnily enough here, had you gone left side and drew the Genji, drew the Genji to come to you, the Genji wouldn't finish off the Ram. Or your Ram is actually more likely to live had you drawn the Genji to come left side here. And actually, same thing applies to Soldier or Wuyang, or again, whatever target wants to come left side here. You're drawing them off of your Ram. And your Ram probably would have lived there if you had gone left side. Or at least live for longer. But yeah, that is a mid-fight pathing issue. As I would summarize that fight. Okay, we'll see next. Maybe you can get the Wuyang. Okay, sure, I don't mind that. Getting out there's reasonable. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if you wanted to get the trade there either. Fine. Okay. We'll see here. And also, your Avenger's making the same issue too. Like, your Avenger should really be zoning back line. But yeah. Okay. Okay. So far, we haven't seen the Wu Yang be a massive, massive issue this game, but we'll see. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. I'll mention something in a moment, but I just want to see how this plays out. Okay, still fun tanking. Okay. Yeah, right, like, notice how, and this is down to the path thing, right? Like, who wins at this distance? You or Soldier? Or who prefers this matchup at this distance? You or Soldier?
Probably Soldier.
Probably Soldier. Right, like, he can just sustain, he can stay on this angle forever, beam down, and Soldier, close range, he does not want to be, he does not want a Genji dancing on top of him, double jumping and firing shurikens at his face. He does not want that at all, right? And again, this is the pathing thing. And notice as well, the Avenger, I've got outlines off here, actually. I'll turn them back on here. Annoying that I can't turn on friendly outlines, but the Avenger does something. Yeah, right, so you obviously in the game, you can see your Avenger come over here, right? Again, round about now when we're skirmishing, like, this would be a good time, especially Avenger would be the key trigger, or the key cue, visually that you'd see here, that would tell you, hey, Avenger's pathing left side, they're about to do something. Therefore, I should probably look to do something. So, had you saw that, or paid attention to that cue, then we can go left side here, and then maybe, with good enough mechanics, I think you can get that dash reset. Like, dash into the, I know he's 75 HP, give or take 70 HP there, but dash, with one fan of shurikens, dash plus a melee, you get the reset, then you dash out, then you're fine. And that's the kind of trigger I was talking about last fight. The Avenger will do something, and you need to be ready to follow up off of that. You need to get ready to do something off of that, you know? In this case, it might be the Wu Yang, and that would have been ideal here. But it could also be Soldier, right? Like, how, in Jesus' name, is Soldier going to prevent your engage if you come from here? You just can't, right? Especially after the Avenger goes in, right? Like, the Avenger goes in, let's say Wu Yang was full HP or whatever, right? The Avenger goes in, you could actually go into Soldier, dash onto him, full HP, he's gonna panic, you can probably deflect his helix with good micro, or fan shurikens, force him to panic, sprint, he's gonna sprint away, and with good micro, you have a 60-40, 70-30 matchup in Soldier there, you know? So, again, notice how, because of your pathing, it's impossible to beat Soldier. But with a small tweak from here, firstly, and then to here, and then to here, we can actually connect into Soldier and make this a completely different fight. Or, again, Wu Yang, because he's low here. Micro-wise, you can get the dash reset there, potentially. But yeah. If you're scared about Zarbubble, last thing micro-wise, if you're scared about Zarbubbling the enemy Wu Yang, then Soldier's probably the safer play, because of course, you've got cover, and the Wu Yang and the Ana don't have direct LOS to the Soldier. Of course, Wu Yang can still bend orbs, potentially, right? Which might be a slight issue. But if the Wu Yang's looking at your Avenger, or the Wu Yang's looking at your Ram, then I think it's less of an issue, or less of a concern. And you can always deflect out if you need to. But yeah. Because here, ultimately, like, the real question is, like, what do we do here, you know? And it's like, the timing's not bad here. Like, we're picking this angle, and no one's looking at us. So that tells me the timing's good. It's just that, what are we supposed to do here, you know? Like, we can't go into anyone. We're gonna fire shurikens at like Genji. Like, it's not great, you know? And we got shot by Soldier. Yeah, we got prevented by Soldier there because of our pathing. We're just pathing too far away. Okay. And yeah, I mean, they just engage onto us then, and it's good. Yeah. Okay. I would say as well, micro-wise, if you are, like, the thing is, if you're really scared about micro, you don't even need to engage it. I just needed to be in a position to do something once the Avenger goes in. Again, that could be shurikening the Wu Yang, forcing Zarbubble. That's fine. Like, you get space, you get CDs out. If you get a disproportionate amount of CDs out, that's fine. You don't need to necessarily get kills on every dive, you know? But yeah.
I feel like the thing which is like making me play main so much is like I watched called like an awkward video,
right,
of him like doing his unranked 2GM, and his main thing was, okay, you know, you start off main, you know, get some damage in, and then you you have some cues to make you go on a flank, and I feel like I'm missing those cues.
Yeah.
Like for example, the venture going in, because I'm like, for example, like too mesmerized by just like shooting like poking that I don't see the venture like going in.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to do nothing, and like it helps with ult charge as well.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Poking.
It's, I guess again, the thing is the cues. What, like, the thing that in the game will tell you visually when you see it. Oh, I should be doing this now. And that's what game sense is. It's seeing cues in the game, i.e., eventually go on left side, that imply or tell you something that, again, you need to like decode almost. It's like a sign, and you need to decode it. Is what game sense is about. And again, your eventually go on left side there is a code that tells you, hey, probably a good time to go. And again, your timing isn't bad here. Like, it's actually pretty good, honestly. Again, no one's looking at you here, you know? Like, this is good timing. Your Ram just Vortex here as well. Your Venture seems to be in Burrow right now. Like, this is not bad timing at all. It's that we're not in a position to be doing anything right now. So yeah. Okay. We'll see. Also, the thing mentioned here as well. If you want ult charge, you'll get it by being here anyways. Burrow's here, of course. You got shot by Soldier there, like 4, 5, 6 bullets. Had to leave. You're not gonna get any ult charge out of that, you know. So, but yeah. I mean, the good news, this fight, is you forced 2 ults out, which is good. You use none. So, in theory, next fight you should, and you got a trade too. So, in theory, next fight you should win. We'll see though, because they've got grab, and you haven't got like a beat or something. Okay. Okay. Actually, I want to see something. When do you ults? Oh, God, they've got the same name. Can't tell which Alcatraz this is. Okay. We'll say that one's you, we'll guess. And then when do you die? Ah, that's probably you. Yeah, 3 seconds after you, we'll see. I just want to see how, because I want to see like if you ulted and died afterwards.
Yeah, I think I got that.
We'll see here. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind getting shot there. I mean, you're far away, so it's whatever. Okay. Cool. Okay, your Venture's in. You should, again, when your Venture's in like this, so again, look at this, right? Like,
yeah.
Venture Barrow's in. They're looking to do, you have about 4 seconds, 5 seconds at most, to get ready to go, right? Because again, Barrow lost for 4 or 5 seconds. So once you see this, it's like, okay, fuck the skirmishing phase. I need to like get ready to set up for my Venture Barrows in, you know. So here, that would look like double jumping, coming back over here, just waiting, seeing your Venture through the wall, getting ready for your Venture to do something, and then seeing if you're able to go in. Now, in fairness, to be fair to you, this is too early. Like, where's your Ram? Like, your Ram's too far away. So, like, I don't mind if you don't get much value out of this, because your Venture's, like, not gonna lie, they're going in too early. But that's the cue, you know, that we need to be paying attention to. Okay, so let's get out there, that's fine. That's fine. Give it a bit of time. We get Sune down the left side, I think. Okay. Oh, my word. Oh, boy. So, again,
I feel like the issue is not scouting before the blade, I guess.
Yeah. Again, this is like, how do I say it? Had you gone left side here, this is not an issue. You know, like had you just gone through here and avoided the Zarya and not gone through main, this is not an issue at all. Like, I think you're playing for Nano Blade here, obviously here, so it's like sure that makes sense here. But honestly, A, it don't even need Nano because you got Kitsu on this angle, and B, you can know or you can skirmish to get a good blade or to engage with blade here. So what I'm saying is, your Kitsu drops. When drop. So Kitsu drops here, right? Your Vengeance is gonna go in. Probably. Yeah, going in right now, right? Like, this is your trigger now. Like, you'd be, before this, you'd be skirmishing, throwing shurikens in the Kitsune. Then your Venture goes in, and it's like, oh, my Venture's like creating space, because the Venture, that's the job. And now you can like potentially go in. That's way forced out. I think maybe they force sleep dart, I'm not quite sure. But again, yeah, for sleep dart forced out here. This would now be the trigger. You don't even need Nano Blade for this. You can just dash in and then blade, and then what they're gonna do about it? What, like, he can't shoot you. If you're within 9 meters, he can't damage you. No sleep dot, no nade. You just cook the backline, or you cook the Wu Yang here, you know. So again, it's like the pathing here is what's really important, and the fact that you're so aggressively down lane is like of course you're gonna have a saying, right? Whenever you're down main, you're gonna take more damage and deal less of it yourself. And this is kind of a textbook example of that. You're doing nothing, and you're gonna take a lot of damage because of grab, obviously. Whereas had you gone left side here, you didn't even need nano boost, and you would have connected to backline, and honestly, probably got both kills, to be honest. And again, your trigger there, you have 2 triggers. A, your Venture, and B, your Kitsu. Right, after you heard Kitsu, that's probably your trigger to go left side. I'm flank around. But yeah. And here's just good. This is now, like, if I was coaching a team and I saw this happen, I'm like, okay, I've like mentally checked out at this point, because we've used Nano Blade and we've killed nothing. And the game's over at this point. So, like, you're gonna need a miracle next fight to make something happen. Not gonna lie. And you still have 2 ults. Like, even that you know, in chess they call things blunders. That's a blunder of a fight to not catch anything that with Nano Blade, and yet you still have a chance. So we'll see. Okay, sure, fine. Honestly, I would not even have minded you going for that hero play to dash in and try and get that kill, but it's perfectly fine not going for that either. I would not have blamed you for doing that play. Okay, yo, can we? Let me set my overlays on, because maybe just too scared to. Sure. Okay. So I get like not walking it because your Ram's kind of like low-key kind of feeding and taking a 1v5. That's special, right? But Ana dies though, so I would at least be thinking about walking it or like trying to move. Venture goes into. Okay. Okay, this is fine. Ooh, your front line's dead. Yeah, you got it out. That's both of you just wasted your ults and nothing. Yeah, now it's like last fight. Your front line's dead. You're the front line now. Okay. Okay, small thing. I haven't mentioned this. I haven't mentioned micro here a bit too much, but you can wall climb to make yourself a little bit more tricky with your pathing. So like again, when you peek out here, you can wall climb up. You can double jump, wall climb, and at least make a different kind of angle to make it a little bit more tricky to force you out. But yeah, really important to do in Hazard as well. But yeah.
But I feel like on this map with the
it's hard
shield
map,
there.
It's hard to do.
I feel like I try to do this more.
Also, it's really hard. You have to walk. You have to touch cards. Like, I don't blame you for that. Your Ram should be.
Yeah, we don't touch card there.
And we see 9. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you probably would have lost that anyways. Yeah, we're getting ult. You've got nothing. Your front end's coming back. The Zarya would have beamed you, so it's probably over there. But yeah. Now the interesting thing is that you do get a decent hold here. Like 3.5 minutes is not bad. There has to be something, some piece of stuff here. Okay, so we're scouting. We know Ana's behind. Okay, I appreciate the attempted wall climb micro. Okay. Okay. I'm curious because I can hear Soldier left side. Your Kiri. You can also see your Kiri in games. I see your Kiri's here. I'm curious as to why you don't go left side. Like, you've got information, right? You know your Ram's fighting someone here. You can visually see Ana. Obviously here, and Zarya as well. How come you don't go left side here? And try and path to at least to reach the Ana or even potentially dive onto the Soldier.
Because I kind of want to go like join the fight right side, and I feel like walking over left just takes too long.
Takes too long. I find that I think the thing that like makes that intriguing to me is your comp is as a whole, or really again because your comp's more mobile than their comp on the whole, you should be able to take 2v1s. Like what essentially I'm referring to is like you can take an angle here. You should already be here by now, to be honest, right? You can take an angle here and 2v1 the Soldier, get that kill, easy, no worries. Then collapse onto the Ana. And because your Ram is Ram, he's not invincible anymore. But he can still live. You can just block and tank all this aggro. So I call this split pushing sometimes, where like one person on your team will be taking some kind of matchup here, like a 1v3 for example. And the rest of your team will be taking another man advantage here somewhere else. So in this case, your Ram, because he's invincible, can 1v3 this and block, whereas you can like come over here, go left side. Again, this isn't terrible what you're doing here, but if you think about this in terms of pathing, well, what's easier to prevent if you're blue team, if we're Ana and we're Soldier, what would we prefer? Would we prefer a Genji coming from here, or would we prefer a Genji coming from here? And to me, I'm inclined to say I would prefer as a soldier or a soldier or an honor. I prefer a Genji coming from here because at least I know where he's coming from and I can shoot him beforehand. Whereas here, I've got no fucking idea where he's gonna come from. The building blocks him, so I can't see where he's coming from. I can't shoot him, so I can't prevent him. So yeah, I think it's the same idea with what Kiri's doing. It's like this is this thing or playstyle almost that I want you to adopt in a way. But yeah. Okay, we'll see here. Thankfully your Kiri does some help there, so you got a good angle here. Dash is free, nice pathing. Yeah, nice. Cool. Fine. Could maybe deflected that, but I'm not gonna cry about it too much. Yeah, nice.
I don't know, like, I feel like deflecting orbs is kind of like I never feel like I get the hit on the Wuyang from the deflect.
Yeah, it's I mean the fight was already won, but like it was mostly just to keep positioning there and to keep pushing it effectively. But yeah. Okay, we'll see this fight. Orisa now. Swap Andy. Okay. 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 Okay, sure. So this is what I find interesting. So I tell Genji players, especially in Blade, like you're of course we don't have to talk about Blade here specifically, but I'll mention it by proxy. Often, the question that you'll be asking yourself is again, how do I connect onto backline? How can I reach the backline in a safe way? Like we did last fight essentially. Like we reached backline, got a good dash, wall climbed over. That was nice. How are we able to replicate that? And the main solution we've been talking about is pathing. It's finding a way or an angle such that we can reach backline without getting prevented. In that fight there, I was also mentioning pathing, i.e. coming out with my Kiriko 2v1ing and going onto soldier. Now, the second solution that I haven't mentioned yet is just shooting the front line is another thing you can do. Shooting front line from an off angle. Or pressuring front line from an off angle. An off angle. Or I can even call this skirmishing as well. Which you did kind of do in the first fight, I think, where again you forced out Genji, you're forcing out their front line. If you force out their front line and their Genji's low, or their tank is low, their backline will most likely walk forward to try and help them. So if you notice, hey, it's too hard to reach these guys. They're baiting. They're playing too far back. I physically cannot reach them, even with good pathing. This is probably your next solution. It's finding an angle such that you can just shoot the back line, shoot the front line from a good angle, and that will force them, or the back line, to walk up forward here. I don't think on this map specifically that's that big of an issue. I think third point Shambali is where it becomes a bit more of an issue, where things are way more open and pathing becomes harder to do. But I mentioned that second solution because what you really could do is if you feel like, hey, I just want to play for ult charge, or hey, I can't go left side here, I can't path left side because again, the Genji has a Wuyang orb and I'm gonna get 1v2'd, right? So as an example, you can have that second alternative, which is pressuring their front line from a different angle, i.e. their tank. So you could stand here, pressure their Orisa, and then once you realize their back is walking forward, then you can go for an angle, then you can go for a potential dive. But I wanted to mention that as a different solution. Here's what I find interesting because we're on a good angle here. Like we're on a decent angle here. Like this is fair. We can see that Anna's shooting, so we know where the Anna's playing. Anna also just has no idea where we're at, which is nice. So that allows us to actually path here and try and go for this angle deeper into the mid fight too. But what I find puzzling is going main here. So what causes this? And what caused you to go for your ram, or go with your ram on this angle?
I don't wanna, because I feel like what I always, but like I tried to not do, because I kind of felt like the left side. I don't think about the left side. The only, like, when I stood there was like, okay, do I go like right here straight? And it's like, no, I'm if I do that, I'm playing in a 1v4 basically. If they just look at me for a second.
Yeah, as in like if you just like walk for, like down this sort of main Yeah, right.
That's like, and I didn't even think about left side.
Yeah. You know, I think so. There's two things with that, right? I think firstly, I get your, I guess like, I mean, I would not path it. I'll just keep it straight. Don't do this. Like against good teams or players, you will just get prevented. This guy will bait you. He'll play this corner, and this is what I meant by baiting. It's like these guys want to bait you to push them. They want to actually they want to play positions such that they want you to push them. Because if that's Yang here is here, yeah, hell yeah, he wants you to push him to push him from here. Of course, he can prevent you really easily. Same thing with the Ana and the soldiers here too. So that's the thing about pathing. I won't go here. I think that's the right instinct to have. Second thing is, but that doesn't mean that going is an ideal thing to do. Because honestly, I think we both know intuitively that if one team is pushing like this, if both teams mash their head against the wall, mash their heads against each other, so that one team push like this, the other team push like this, we both know yellow team's probably gonna win because of the nature of their comp. So it's like, again, I often say it as well to mention this idea, is that like when you have mobility, it's there for a reason. Use it, you know. The Kiriko's using it in this case because she can just TP and leave, you know. Or like you can at least flank through here, get a 2v1, 2v2 is fine here as well. Not to mention, if you're worried about, oh, my Ram's gonna be taking like a trillion damage, don't worry about what your Ram's gonna do. That's his issue, Michael. He needs to dodge spear. He's playing a position to where he's not gonna get forced out. He needs to be paying attention to what you're doing so he can juggle aggro with you. That's his job, right? Don't worry about what he's doing. What you can do though is go here, one shot the hell of that soldier because he's asleep right now, or go for a play such that you can force at least the soldier Ana to look at you here. And if you're here, you're gonna be full HP here. You know, you're within kissing distance, full HP onto a soldier Ana with a Kiriko with you. Like this would be, of course, what Genji wouldn't want to be here. The answer, you know. And I think we're getting a little bit too mind controlled by what our Ram's doing, such that we're thinking, oh shit, my Ram's getting cooked here. I need to like make a play out of him, or I need to like, you know, try and save him. Essentially, he needs saving.
I feel like maybe another thing is like, you know, the thing is, okay, you know, their team has their peak when they use all their cooldowns. Your team uses your cooldowns to have your, like, when you have your own peak. And it's like easier to synchronize when you like see your whole team.
Right.
Compared to like, oh, I'm sitting left side, okay. And I feel like if you have to think about, you know, when to go in, most of the time it's like too late.
And I think again when we watch us back about, okay, when is the time to go left side here, right? So, we're waiting. Again, both teams will have the skirmish phase, right? So we saw Ana, we see Ana, we see Genji, we see Wu Yang, we see Orisa, and we probably see our Kiriko through the wall. I'm guessing. Yes, we do, right? So we know our Kiriko goes through the wall here as well. So now it's like, okay, once I D-peak and I need to reload, or once they D-peak and they need to reload, then I'm gonna move. And notice how here, no one's speaking. Everyone's chilling out for a second, right? This is the time to move left side. Right now, this frame, once you see this, oh yeah, I know where Ana's at. I know literally where 90% of the lobby is. Now it's time to move. Now it's time to go left side. Now I need time to reach this Ana. So I'm not too late and my Ram doesn't get fucked, you know? It's like, this is the time right now. Where you need to go left side. Right, so we stay a little bit too long. As a result, we don't see that. You know, we go main instead. And actually, I really think that had you gone left side here, this honestly probably would have gone well for you. Yeah.
Should I use my dash there? Because I feel like
yeah,
kind of like hit a dash.
Good question.
It's kind of like
it's situational, right? If you see your Ram's taking a pounding early, like I hope you can see him. You can see where he's playing through the wall, and you can see his HP too. Then yeah, I think using dash is fine. In fact, honestly, if you're just getting hard pushed here, like all 5 people are like hard pushing your Ram, you could probably afford to go down main here actually, because if everyone's looking at the Ram, not looking at you, you can probably afford to go main here and then try and juggle aggro or look for an opportunity, mainly because it's just faster. If they're not all looking at your Ram and you've got a little bit of time, then yeah, you can go left side, and you probably don't need to use dash here. If you need to use dash left side, you might as well go main, because the implication is that, hey, if I need to use dash to go left side, I need to go quick, right? I need to be quick. But if I need to go quick, that implies that my Ram's going to be low, because I've got limited time until my Ram dies. If I have limited time until my Ram dies, and he's drawing 5 people to look at him, then that means that I could probably push forward here and get away with this kind of play, right? Obviously, I wouldn't suggest this if your Ram isn't drawing that much aggro. If Ram's chilling and he's, being chilling, playing the right side corner, you've got time, right? You can play left side. But yeah, either go left side here and use dash, or go main here, and yeah, just go main. And if you see a Ram, take tons of aggro. And you've got limited time. Okay, we'll see here. Okay, maybe you can. Sure, fine. I'm okay with this. He's dashing into 5 people. What is he doing? Fine with that. Okay. Interesting. So like this is where passing becomes hard, right? Because again, punch front line. Nice, good job. Right. Notice how now nobody knows where you're at. Not a single soul in the human universe knows where you're at right now. And again, this is the time where I was like, oh shit, now I can like path through here. Maybe I can catch someone on cart, right? And also notice you're punishing frontline, right? So if you punish frontline, or you punish the Genji, which you just did, and or the Orisa, they're probably going to walk forward, right? As they are right now. So let's half this down. Let's say hypothetically we went down main here, right? Now I'm not saying the dash in here, obviously, right? But now notice how you can get an actual good angle for ult charge and to draw attention down main here, right? And if you get some good shurikens and you force some cooldowns, great. Even better if you're able to like, if you know that Ana's got no nade and you can go for the dash kill, that's even better, right? But like you can draw 2 people here by just taking a slightly different angle, by pathing left side here, and actually that would have done more for your Ram than going back main. But yeah, that's the thing about pathing. That's what I mean by skirmishing. Like you have these moments of time, but like you'll need to reload or you just got a kill, right? You need to duck back into cover. Which is what you duck back into cover right here, which is what you just did. This is that time where like, oh shit, I'm back into cover now. I can actually go left side here, and no one knows where I'm at. There's no way in hell Arn's going to predict you coming through here after you kill that Genji. There's just no way. There's no sign for her to know that. And that's the beauty of pathing, or good pathing. Here we're just face stacking Orisa, like. But yeah, but it's very predictable. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, as we go main there, we take 1 damage. We do lots of this. And yeah. Okay. Sure, I don't mind playing back here, your Ram's dead to be fair, so you can play slow, that's chill. Okay. Get up a little bit. Okay, not like the hiding. Do you know where you're at? Maybe, I don't know. Okay. I think Genji knows where you're at. Sure. Sure. Okay. Okay, so we roughly know where the front line's at. We see Ana too. This is looking promising. Okay. Nice. Good. Great. I mean, not even good. That was great. Yeah, this is great pathing, right? Like, I've got no real complaints, to be honest. Timing's great. Positioning's great. Yeah, only thing is that you don't need. I don't think you were anticipating hitting these shurikens, right? But so that's just kind of futile. But I don't hate that. More than fine. That was great. Okay, I punish soldier there. Give you one his ass. Oh, nice. Okay. Sure. Go down your tank, but it should be winnable. Sure. I don't mind dashing in there. You can actually dash into this if you got good micro, so it's fine.
Sure. Into this, like into the Wu Yang or into the Orisa?
Into the Wu Yang right here is what I meant. So that's okay. This is actually fine. You force wave, that's more than fine. You got a cover. You got a ward to play or cover to play, so that's more than fine as well. I guess my only thing is that like I would be wall climbing here and trying to find an angle on top of the Wu Yang, and maybe widening my angle through this left side of the room, or double back and going right side here. In other words, you've got options by going on this, playing this sort of area, or playing above the dumpster cans. But yeah. Okay, sure. Dash or deflect is a little bit late here as well. We haven't talked about it much, deflect usage, but deflect is based on how much visual aggro you're taking. It's the same way how Traces die with recalls, Genjis will die with deflects, Mazes will die with cryo, Dooms will die with block. It's predominantly like, who is looking at me, and how dangerous are they? So here, again, in principle, you should die here. Like, if that hits you, you're cooked. Most likely. probably die there. But because she misses, you get away with it, you know? So again, it's like, who's looking at you? The eyes, right? Who are they looking at? And who are they looking at and who's looking at you? See, Orisa's big and scary, with spear, very big and scary, so probably appropriate to deflect the Orisa there early in time. But yeah.
But I feel like the longer I can like greed for my deflects, the more I can like, because like I have no dash right now. Like if I can like live, even if I live with like 10 HP, and I deflect late,
this
I get my cooldown back and then get out.
This is the thing, because there's the gamble, you know, because how long? Because this thing I say about power block is you can block on Doomfist and not get power punched. You can block on Doomfist and no one can shoot you, and that's still a good power block. Because if you hadn't power blocked, you would have died. So again, the aggro is the important thing. It's not who's shooting. It's not the actual damage you're deflecting. It's not the actual damage you're absorbing as Doomfist. It's how much visual aggro are you taking is the important thing. Because you don't know, I mean, firstly, to be honest, in Overwatch 2, HPs are too flimsy to play with. You can get from 250 to 0 with one spear immediately. And the HP is not enough of a buffer to get away with that, you know? And you mentioned, okay, if I get away with 10 HP, I'll be fine. You can't know that, right? The likelihood of you getting away with 10 HP here against a good Orisa who spears you is so emphatically low, it's not worth the chance, you know? So it's either you do one or two things. Either you deflect this right now and you live, or you don't take the aggro. I often have a saying, bad positioning will force bad cooldowns, right? So if right now you're out in the open, right? If you're playing here, well, now, all of a sudden, Orisa can't see us. So we don't even need to deflect it, right? We're going to shoot the Wuyang. If we're here as well, even better. You have a Ming to play around, you can double jump. We, again, aren't taking aggro from Orisa, which means that we don't even need to have this debate about deflecting it to begin with. We can just shoot the Wuyang, you know? So, again, two things there, right? The aggro is the important thing, because you can't know the damage you're taking as Genji. And the visual aggro is the important factor. I will be more than happy if you deflected this and they stop shooting you. I'm more than happy with that. That's a good deflect. But also, it's only a good deflect insofar as you're required to deflect this. You don't even need to deflect this if you're playing here, or if you're playing on top of the dumpster can. Again, we wouldn't be even having this discussion if that wasn't the case, you know? So that micro is really important. But yeah.
So after the dash on the Wuyang, I should have just like played corner.
Yeah, right. Like back off here, play left side, go over the dumpster can, fire shurikens, etc. Right?
Is there like a cue for that? Like how?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. It's more so. I mean, this is more so with Genji in general. It's about like having an escape plan.
Wuyang wave maybe.
Yeah, like. I mean, dash has been used. Wuyang wave's been used here too, right? Like we can't walk forward and chase this kill because we've used dash and he's used both his CDs. If he's 1 HP, like if he was like, you know, somewhere here, you know, like he's 1 HP, or you saw your Avenger like going in again, if you saw some kind of trigger that told you, hey, I can actually keep walking forward here, I can greed the deflect and I can deflect this, I can keep going forward, it's just kill the Wuyang, sure, that's fine. But again, he's full HP, he's basically full HP here, you can't reliably kill him, so I think that's the cue, like when you realise, hey, I can't kill this Wuyang, because he's full HP basically with no Venture, then it's time to D-peak. If your round's still alive, if your Venture's going in, sure, I'm okay with you doing this, walking forward here. But yeah, I think it's the moment you realise I can't kill this guy, time to go left side. But yeah. Okay, he did force wheeling himself although, which is good. And Terrace, wow, okay. Yeah, honestly I'm fine with you dying there, because that's you force 2 ults.
They wanted me dead.
Okay. Ram gets a good touch too. Sure. A little bit. Okay. Oh, I know. I knew you're gonna block. Honestly, okay, you need to touch it in fairness. So blind blading. We'll see what you can see through the wall. So your Ram. So one person's barely. You can see one person's barely touching this. So I think it's fair to blade this blind. I don't hate blading this blind here because you only saw one person touching. It's fair. Sure. Nice. Don't greet this. Play slow. Sure. I don't mind you doing that. You're getting lifesteal off of it. That's okay. Oh, unlucky. Sure. Nice. Oh, that's just fine to touch. Fine. Just about there. A little bit of clunky micro, but nothing crazy. I think what your overall decision making there, more than fine. Whether that was how you use your cooldowns or who you went onto, I think that was fairly okay. Yeah, no real complaints there. Now it is last fight though, and they've got Nano Visor, and you've got. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. Again, you're queuing with the Venture here, right? Yeah. I think one thing I would try and say is that like Venture's really good. Like Excavate is the dog shit ultimate, but it's really good for drawing attention, and because you with the park you can get so much shield off of it. With just using Tectonic Shock, you can use your Venture as like a massive bait. So your Venture can like hide somewhere. Here's a really good place to hide. And then pop out. They can like force 3 people to look at them. If they get a good Excavate, that's someone to half HP. If they get 2 good Excavates, that's 1 HP. Then that's a good trigger to go in, right? So maybe if you next time you're playing with Adventure and they put Excavate, you can use them as bait. Like, can you play really aggro so I'm able to like follow up off your kills or follow up off your damage? Because that's the only way you're gonna win this fight. It's like how can we as a team stop these guys from getting a good position with Nano Visor? If this guy gets in a good position, presses Q, it's already over. But yeah, that's the key thing. Okay. Okay. Fine so far. Yeah, keep an eye. Yeah, like I don't mind playing slower, but I really don't want that soldier flanking left side. Again, if you think about it from their comp, right? Like, why would soldier ever want to fight you here? Or your comp? Like, why would that soldier ever want to fight you in a run with a Venture and a Genji? Like, why? That's just dumb as shit. You know, he's obviously gonna go wide and try and play wide, right? Yeah, right. Like, he's probably gonna flank. My guesstimate is he's gonna flank through here, play really wide, bait you to dash onto him, Visor, Nano, and it's over. So again, stopping this is really important. Before it even happens.
I feel like you're a fortune teller.
I mean, I've seen like, yeah. I mean, I've got that person actually for this fight. Man, like this is the thing. You need to stop this from happening. Like it's over now. Like the fight's over. Like you can trade backlines. It doesn't matter. Like they're better at doing that anyways. And now it's too little, too late. This guy's passed out your LOS, and it's just over. Right. So honestly, this is kind of a team ult issue rather than a you specific issue here. Because again, with this comp, it's like the win con is how do I get how can I put my soldier in a position to where he can Visor, bait, and play really far away. He probably wants you to push him right now, and live the actual engage by the Venture and the Genji. The real solution here was like stopping him from here. That's the real solution. And whether that was on you and your Venture, I think there's some split responsibility there. I think part of it's just comp wise, you should know just by brains. Before the match even begins, you should know that soldier probably doesn't want to play in the run here. And based on the faults, you can probably know that, hey, my Venture, probably really good to disrupt engages, or to stop engages from happening. So yeah, I think game sense wise, I think this is the kind of a thing that's like really team related. But yeah, it's probably gonna be over now. Yes it is. Yeah. Okay. And stuff like that, like of course that's more macro stuff there, obviously. Stuff like that will like that fight planning stuff will come with time. It's not something that is like. I hate coaching fight planning to players because it's A, really hard to do in ranked. B, it takes a lot of time to be able to fight plan well. Like I've just watched hundreds of VODs, replay codes, pro games, and I could probably predict and tell you that that's gonna happen. You know, like it's really hard to do this also in an actual ranked game. So I wouldn't put too much stress on this itself. I think one thing I would say though is if you're playing into a ranged comp like this or you're playing with Venture, you can really go early. Another example is like High Noon. Like High Noon is a terrible ultimate, but it's really good at stopping or disrupting engages. It's disrupting engages. You can use High Noon really early to get an early push and potentially get an early engage. I think that's something that players can take advantage of a little bit in their games. But yeah. Okay. We'll watch from your POV again because I went third person. If there's anything you could have done there, probably not. Go back here a little bit. I just want to see what you see. I mean, yeah, we know so. We know just like, so tough, you know. Like, ideally, if you knew, or like you had the belief such that, okay, I know Soldier's gonna go co side, then ideally you saw Soldier go left side here. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna back off, make sure I don't get speared by the Sarissa, play wide, and then go over here and stop the Soldier right about here, give or take, and call my Venture over. Even better if you do this, call my Venture over and go for the Soldier. That's probably the moment on the fight. Like, this moment's probably where it decides it all. Because you saw Soldier in the back corner. Okay. And yeah, it's over. Yeah, so that's the key moment in time. Okay, we'll do a quick summary. I will use this wall here. Okay. Oh, what's the first thing? I know pathing is gonna be one of the things. Yeah, okay, I guess we'll put pathing as one of the things. So, yeah, pathing. I'll just say this midfight pathing. So again, an example. Be the literal first fight, where we end up like, again, matching Zarya. And then what we could have done is go left, skirmish, dash when players are peeking, peeking, and then we can zone back line, flash, shurikens, just throw shurikens, flash, fish, or trigger. And when I say fish for a trigger, I mean maybe your Kiri or your Venture does something. Or maybe a Vortex from your Ram as well. Backline could be a trigger. Second thing is... let me think. I'll leave micro to the last point. I'm just thinking right now. Because most of the issues this game... Well, I'll say like triggers. Visual cue. So again, Avengers was one of them. It was honestly your main one. So again, we saw like your left side when the Avenger went left side. Again, trigger.
When I see like a trigger and I feel like I'm not in a position to follow up, should I still like maybe go for a bit risky play even if I don't feel ready?
So like your Venture, for example, might go early, or you might be playing on a map that's really far away, like say Junkertown, and you just can't reach backline. Then you would use, when I say setting up, I'll be more specific. But that's again, A, you path for backline, or B, again, you can just get a good off angle and punish front line in time. If it's literally impossible to reach backline. Most cases you should be able to do this. Again, in Shambali we saw an example of that. I'll say this too as well, which is like, we need to take into account comp, or like the matchup, because that's gonna inform your mindset. Because honestly, the fact that we were pathing here, like, is insane against the comp that is running 1, 2, 3 ranged characters. Like the fact that, like, again, on attack here, more specifically, we're coming this right side. This is so long, you know. Like, this is so much distance. You know? Whereas again over here, we can cut that in half, very easily with more cover. Not to mention, so again, that relates back into pathing too. But yeah. So like, I get that comp matchup is really important, and more specifically too, like, what do they want to do into us? What's their win con?
Like keeping the tank alive and then like over a long fight. Like we want a short fight, they want like a really long fight.
To some extent, yeah.
Like,
I think the main thing is like, if I'm Soldier or Ana, I do not. If you're gonna dash onto me, it needs to be messy. And when I say messy, I mean if you're gonna dash onto me, you need to be half HP. Or if you're gonna dash onto me, you need to have no deflect, or you need to be in a really sticky situation, or your tank needs to be dead or something. It needs to be messy. And we saw here when you were shooting the Soldier from here, from this distance, he was making it messy. He was shooting you, poking you out, and disrupting you. He was preventing you from going on top of him, which is the important win con, I think, from their main ends. Is again prevention, stopping you. And again that relates back to pathing, because pathing is your solution to that. But yeah. And third thing, I'll just say micro, specifically with deflect. Again, the whole visual aggro thing, but also and not putting yourself in positions while again bad positioning, full force, cooldowns. In this case, bad deflects. I didn't see much of it this game, but something that's important to note. Especially if you're playing to Cassidy as well, this is really important. If you're playing to Cassidy as well, that's also really important to note. Because A, you don't want to greed it too much into Cass, but also he can burst you really quickly. In fact, it's not as bad as on Genji as it is Tracer, because Tracer you will literally just get one shot. But yeah, like you want to dance around Cassidy, play positions to where it's hard for Cassidy to come and look at you, play positions to where you can avoid Cassidy OS. And again, in this fight here, on I think it was your attack, I forgot actually. I think it was lost by defense. But like again, you could dance over the dumpster can or whatever. But yeah, and that's the main points. Yeah, that's the main gist of it. Of course, last fight was a bit of a special case because it was more ult economy and what you can do with the adventure ult. But that's more specific based on the ults here. That I don't think is a big issue right now. I think the main thing's pathing. I think honestly, had you won or just came around here, especially during the Kitsune or when the adventure borrowed, either of those fights, you probably win that. But yeah. Any questions, queries, things like that?
No, I've written stuff down.
Julio. No worries. There's nothing to mention.